How to wholesale vacant land. That's right, guys. In this video, we are going to walk through step by step how to find these types of deals, how to contact the seller, how to talk to the buyer, and how to put the deal together. So my name is Rick. This is Rick with Flip with Rick. Do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and keep receiving free information on how to become a dominant wholesaler. Let's talk about it. Why am I talking about wholesaling vacant land? The reason is because nobody talks about it. Actually, it's much easier to wholesale land than it is actually wholesaling a house. I found this all out by complete accident. So true story, I did a deal in my local market, and when we pulled up the deed, the title company says, you know, she owns the property next door to it. I'm like, there's nothing but woods there. They go, no, she owns a piece of vacant land. I go, I don't want it. I didn't know what I was talking about. So I went back to her, and after I negotiated a phenomenal deal on the house, I was ready to ignore the piece of land. Here's a little tidbit. I made more on the land than I actually made on the house when it was all said and done, because I was able to parlay that vacant piece of land and the property, and she didn't put a big value on the land, and she thought it was annoying to pay the taxes on it. And bing, 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 that's when a light bulb went off. I'm like, you know what? I did this deal by accident. What if we actually did it on purpose? So let's go ahead and get started and walk you through how to systematically target vacant land and how to profit from wholesaling on it. So first thing is you have to find the land. So what we're going to have to do is go ahead and put a list together. So the best way to do it, in my opinion, is go to listrei.com. You can get a free trial service, 7 days there, and pull the list. So the list is super simple in the software. You're just going to look for vacant land. You're going to pick the town you want to do. And here's the key, guys. Before we reach out and contact potential sellers of vacant land, we need to do research within listrei.com and find out how much these piece of vacant lands are selling for. So all you have to do is pull up. You're going to look on your list filters, and you're looking for cash buyers that buy vacant land. I'd like you to break it down by zip code. That's the best way to do it. But if you got to break it down to the city, and you'll quickly identify how much these properties are trading for. Now, in my area, everything's broken down by either a quarter acre. So if you had a half acre, it's 2 quarter acres put together. If you have a full acre, it's 4 quarter acres put together. So most towns and most sections, the builders and the cities plan out these communities. And sometimes it's the Wild West because all these different people own lands. You want to target people that are buying vacant land in areas. They're always going to be cash buyers. And here's a little hint. A lot of them are builders and developers. Now, the big builders and developers, sometimes they're difficult to deal with. You got to go through all these departments. They want you to double close, and I don't want you to do all that. The best ones to do is find the individual cash buyers, investors that like to build properties, or like small home builders, because they typically buy them one by one, and they'll usually pay the most because they can only build so many houses at a time. The big developers, you know, they want to buy lots of 50 and 100, and they want them all on the same street. So I tend to stay away from those because they just eat up and waste a lot of our time. Simply, all you're trying to do is pull up all the cash buyers that bought free and clear vacant land in your geographic area, and then work it out. So if you don't have any buyers in that area, heed the warning, there's probably not a lot of demand. So once you know what they're buying it for, you've just got to buy them cheaper and assign the contracts over. Guys, don't complicate this. I complicated this in the beginning, and this is a strategy I didn't use till late in my game, and it's probably one of my bigger regrets in wholesaling. So wholesaling land is the key to unlocking profits for very easy deals. So you've identified your area. You've gone to listrei.com. You've pulled up the cash buyers that buy vacant land. You know the price target points. Obviously, you want to come below it. The beauty of these contracts is they're mostly assignable. Yes, you can close on them. Most of the land's going to be inexpensive. Most people are targeting $75,000 or less. A lot of land in my area can be anywhere from $3,000 to a lot up to $75,000 to $100,000 outside of like waterfront property. So once we know what they're buying them for, Then I'm going to go back into listrei.com and I'm going to pull my own list. So the first list was purely to identify if there's demand there and what the cash buyers are paying for them. And look at the dates. That's the most important thing, because in a rapidly appreciating market, these prices can go up quick. So sometimes an old deal that you didn't think was worth anything now has got $10,000 or $15,000 hidden into it. So any of you guys that did vacant land wholesaling in the last year or even two, if you have those leads, go back and call every one of them. So there is gold in them right now. And if you have a market that's appreciating, then a lot of times the profit that wasn't there, it's there now. So we figured out how to identify it. Now we're going to pull our list. So on your filters, you want to pull vacant land in the geographic areas you want to do. And I like to buy them like free and clear. So most land is traded on cash. A few of them have a mortgages on the bigger ones, but for the most part, it's pretty cut and dry. Once we do that, it's simply you need to reach out to the sellers of these lands and contact them. How you contact them, completely your choice. The really cool thing is everything you do in your wholesaling business already fits in this platform. So if you want to cold call them, do whatever your cold call procedure is. Guys, don't overcomplicate it. If you got 100 leads and you don't have a fancy, just pick up the phone and start calling. Like, you don't need all this fancy software to do it. A lot of times it's easier just to pick up the phone and call than get an expensive software and then go pay like a VA to do it. Don't overthink this. The other way you can do is you can do the texting. You can use the texting platform. You can use the texting platform. You can also do RVM, just make sure they're legal in your states. Guys, it doesn't matter how you contact them. You know, some people do direct mail with them. I'm not a big direct mail on vacant land. It's just not nearly as effective in my market, but I know it works in other markets. So I would like to cold call them or like do a text or do an RVM if it's legal in your state. And you just need to connect with them. Yes, you'll have to skip trace the numbers. You guys know how to do that. Guys, if you need to go and do the skip tracing, go to smszack.com and it's all provided there for you. But just pick a medium and do it. Wholesaling vacant land is very profitable. So we reverse engineered and identify the market using listrei.com. Then we figured out what price the cash buyers are buying in that area. And now you are going to pull your list. Simple criteria, guys. Remember your area, free and clear vacant land, cash buyers, and then you're going to send out your message. Now, if you have inbound marketing and they're calling you, it's a real simple conversation because you don't have to go through all this stuff on like what's going on with the house. There's very few what I call fixer-upper lands. You don't even have to, you don't have to know anything about land. Like sometimes there's environmental issues, but when we're talking about single family or even commercial, land is land. You buy it as is. They do all the underwriting for any type of environmental studies, any type of land clearing. They know what the numbers are. I have a ballpark number in my area, what it costs to clear land. They know about utilities and stuff. You don't need to know all that stuff. You just got to buy it at a discount and offer them a service and assign the contract over. So if I had an inbound call coming or say I'm returning a text message and they want to talk to me, says, Mr. Seller, I see you on 123 like US Street. Do you have any interest in selling this property? And just shut up. And it's honestly, land is, it's usually yes, no. You can't talk them into it. A lot of times if they have delinquent tax bills, they're more likely to sell it, or if they don't think it's ever going to come to fruition. But the really cool thing about sellers on wholesaling vacant land is they do make fast decisions. And that's what I love about this. So here's some of the benefits of wholesaling vacant land. It already fits into your wholesaling business model. You just got to figure out how to pull a list and identify what the cash buyers are paying for them. It's fast, super fast, not uncommon to do a deal within 2 weeks. Once you know what your buyers are buying, you can even ramp up your marketing higher. You can wholesale the contracts. Guys, this is perfect. So stop overlooking this little known niche of wholesaling vacant land and do it. It works really well. So you talk to them. The contracts are really, really simple. If you need to get a contract on it, just go to flipwithrick.com/contract. We have a contract right there for you. It's simple. Don't overcomplicate this. I got to be honest with you. And those of you talk about do virtual investing, this is a great way to start with. Your only expense is going to be what you put into your marketing, meaning pulling your list, any type of skip tracing, and the time you have to put into it. You can buy a piece of land, buy it for 10, 20, 30 grand, whatever it is, mark it up whatever you need and sell it. But it's really easy. Like, I can't tell you how many deals I overlooked. I don't do vacant land. I used to say, I don't do mobile homes. Guys, stop saying what you can't do and start solving people's problems. That's the beauty of wholesaling. That's the beauty of wholesaling vacant land. It's fast, it's easy, it's cheap, it's assignable, and it already fits in your business model. So last but not least, let's talk about talking to your buyers when you sell it. So most people who buy land actually are very good at it. They're used to the land contracts and they're used to closing with speed on like good deals. Do not let your buyer strong arm you into double closing on the deal, meaning you have to buy the property from the motivated seller, close on it, and then turn around and sell it to them 2 weeks later. You're just wasting time and money, and it's really not necessarily land because we don't have problematic tenants and you have a vacant piece of land that's free and clear. The only reason if you had to close on it, if it was like a really big deal and you had to buy some time to wait for the commercial developer to buy it, then I get it. But just make sure you got a big fat profit level. Guys, you can make $1,000, $2,000. I wouldn't do those numbers. You can do 5 or 10, 15. I've made as much as like $35,000 doing a vacant piece of land. And for those of you like the virtual model, this is one of the best ways to explore a new market because you can reverse engineer the data and you can find out what they're paying for these vacant lands, and you can start wholesaling these vacant lands and making a profit, and you can turn it on and off as much as you want. I've targeted vacant land in the past, and my only regret is I just didn't do it more. But when I was a one-man operation, I don't want you to split your time up a million ways. I want you to know when vacant land does hit your desk, and maybe you're not even targeting it, you know how to profit from it. So why not target it? Guys, tell me, do you guys wholesale vacant land? Have you made a profit of doing it? What's your experience? Do you do it locally in your market or do you virtually? I would love to hear your feedback in your comment. Guys, I do not know why no other wholesalers or really real estate investors, for the most part, even talk about this. So it's a great niche. And if you just want to start out and you have like a zero experience, the little key with vacant land is they expect you to write a contract with contingencies in it, meaning 30-day inspection period. And if I can't find a buyer and the number's not right, guess what? I don't give up. You just renegotiate it. You guys goes, I'll take it for $22,000. And say you had it on the contract for $25,000. I'm just going to go back and I'm trying to go down to 15 or whatever it is. Worst case scenario. In the learning experience, if you got under contract for 20 and signed it for 2,000 and you learned how to wholesale vacant land in a new market or your existing market, take the 2,000 and make sure the next one's double that, and just keep going till you double it. You'd be surprised how easy you can make money in this. Guys, do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you want to hear more videos about this. I want to hear about your experiences wholesaling vacant land. Is it a thumbs up? Is it a thumbs down? Have you made money doing this? Or honestly, have you even considered doing it? Are you overlooking this niche? I would say do it because it's probably one of my biggest regrets. Early in my career, I didn't do this. We do them like crazy now, and I love it. And there's no reason. You're no different than me. You're no different than Zach. You can do the exact same. Guys, have a wonderful, blessed day, and I'll see you soon. Thanks.